Hello, I'm Ramzeez The Bighorn. I wanted to make a short video explaining why I made this channel, who I am, and talk about being a wrestling fan, my experiences as a wrestling fan. I started watching wrestling in, I believe, 2008 or 9. I was really young. I had played the video game first. The first wrestling game I remember playing was WWE SmackDown vs. Raw 2007, which even has two of my favorite songs of all time on it now. I heard them back then. I didn't really listen to music that much, but I went back and listened to them, and they're stuck to me now. I just can't drop Survive by Rise Against. I just can't drop it. But yeah, I started what I believe the first show I ever saw was Raw. I think so. And like in around 2010, I stopped watching wrestling. I stopped watching TV as a whole. So after I got my first phone, I would just get the notifications and see clips sometimes, but I wasn't really actively watching. In about 2018 or 19, I I 2019 in 2016 I heard about the Young Bucks and the Kenny Omegas and the Bullet Club, and I had kept my eye out on it. I'd seen stuff of theirs. I enjoyed it. I didn't know how to watch it, so I was just kind of lucked out there. But it was okay. I was still playing video games, distracting myself somehow. And then in 2019, I heard about a new promotion starting up called AEW. At the time, I didn't really give it a chance because I didn't really know how long I was gonna last. I didn't feel it yet. I didn't feel that. I didn't actively look at what was happening. So from the outside looking in, I was like, yeah, I don't know about that. So I didn't give it a chance at first. About a year. Oh wait, that same year I started tuning into some of WWE stuff again because I hadn't seen it in a while. So I was just like, okay, what's going on? And there's still like Big Dog Roman Reigns, Drew McIntyre doing stuff, Seth Rollins, and it was kind of average, but it was okay. It was enough, I guess, to hold me over. Um, but I believe it was early 2021 or late 2021. It was at some point in 2021 that I started watching AEW, and when I did, I was hooked. It was the best wrestling I'd ever seen, the best mix of people possible, and I got attached to it. I loved every bit of it. Started watching with my friends, and in 2022, I decided, well, since there's so much more to wrestling than I had thought, why don't I branch out more? Like, so I started looking at New Japan's pay-per-views, and later on, I started watching Stardom. I didn't know how to begin, where to begin with Stardom because there were so many factions, nicely sized roster, everybody's very good. So I decided I will start watching right before the 5 Star Grand Prix in 2022. That was when I started seeing the Mina Shirakawas, the Starlight Kids, the Himika, Maika, Saya Kamitani, people like that, Azumi. And I started making connections, and I figured out all the factions, the stars, Cosmic Angels, New Club Venus, Donna Del Mondo, God's Eye, Queen's Quest, Prominence, all those. So now when I watch, I know what I'm watching, I know who I'm watching, I know what's happening, I know what everybody does, I know their theme songs, their moves, I know it all. I know. I even did a test on the 2024 roster, just did it. I completed it in the time I was given. I have footage of that. I'll upload that another time. But it's great stuff all around, and I am hooked. But like just as a viewer, I'm very open. I can't just watch one thing all the time, especially WWE. I cannot. There's no way. There's not enough wrestling. I just can't. So when it comes to viewing, I watch AEW, WWE a little bit, Stardom sometimes. Try and watch more sometimes, and other times not so much. Right now they got a tournament going on, so yeah, I've been tuning in. I'll make a separate video on like my favorites and what wrestlers I really look into seeing and well look forward to seeing. And the favorites that I have seen in person. I haven't met any of them yet, but I've met a couple cool wrestlers, especially at TD Garden. I met like 5, 6 wrestlers. Every show I've been to, I've seen at least one or two of my favorites in that promotion, in said promotion. So I've always been pretty satisfied with what I've seen, where I've seen it, and the experience as a whole. So at this point, as you can see, this is being recorded after I attended Big Business, which would technically, if you count shows that were pre-taped that I was also there for, I believe would be my 13th live show. 13th show I've seen in attendance in the crowd. But yes, right now I'll just list the shows I've been to and where they were. My first show was December 10th, 2021 in Los Angeles. That's at the Staples Center at the time for WWE SmackDown. My second show was AEW Dynamite, the fallout of Double or Nothing in 2022, June 1st in Los Angeles at the Kia Forum. My third show was AEW Rampage. My next show was WWE SmackDown at the Honda Center in Anaheim, September 16th. Then was AEW's return to Los Angeles, January 11th, 2023, at the Kia Forum, which technically the next show would be AEW Rampage, which aired 2 days later, but it was taped there. After that, I attended WrestleMania 39, Night 1 and 2, at SoFi Stadium. After that, we went to San Diego, May 31st, for Dynamite and the House Arena, which wasn't long after Double or Nothing last year. That was also the day Tony Khan announced that CM Punk would be at the debut of Collision. After that, I came out to Massachusetts. I've been in Massachusetts since August 2023. So the first event I went to, the first wrestling event I went to out here was SmackDown, September 8th, TD Garden. And then after that would be a couple days ago, the AEW Big Business Dynamite and Ring of Honor and Rampage. So yeah, there was Ring of Honor taped before, then Big Business, and then Rampage was taped after. So that's technically 3 shows one day. The show was amazing, by the way. It was amazing. I got there really early. It was very cold, but the experience was worth it. I'm not gonna lie. That was my first time going VIP to an event. AEW Big Business was the first time. When it comes to merch, I have new stuff on the display now than I had before when I recorded my display. I've taken a couple photos of it, but yeah, there's new stuff. I haven't really organized it yet. Of course, this Donna Del Mondo folder because Himika. I have a keychain. I have a 5-star Grand Prix keychain because Micah vs. Himika was there. And then all the Big Business stuff, the VIP lanyard, the commemorative ticket, the turnbuckle pad, the glasses, which are pretty sick. And then I keep all of my merchandise clothes, my wrestling merchandise clothes, underneath that desk. So yeah, that was just a quick rundown. I'm making an entire photo album of wrestling events I've been to. I'm working on it. I'm updating it as I go.